So, thank you for being here, guys. It's so great to be able to have a chance to talk to you. So, right off the bat, tell me a little bit about just the genesis of Damsel, how you guys sort of came up with the idea to write and direct this film.
Well, we've just always loved westerns and wanted to do one for a long time, and I think it just started. I don't know. We'd have different kind of seeds of ideas for kinds of things we'd want to do in a western, and then I think when it came down to doing it, we wanted to take like certain, the certain things that were less interesting in what we wanted to do with in terms of some of the cliches, and the sort of tropes that have been employed over and over again, especially like the damsel in distress element, right. And instead of trying to avoid those completely, kind of use those as a shorthand, and that people out of the gate will kind of know what, or have a certain familiarity with the genre through that, and then use that as a launch pad to deviate from it and do different things.
Yeah. I mean, and one of the first sort of questions that I wanted to ask you guys was, how do you guys convince Robert Forster to, hand him a script and say, okay, what you're going to do is you're just going to deliver this fierce sort of monologue of anger, get into your long underwear and run off into the desert. Is that just all you say to him, or is he just
we're going
to get going? We sent him the script and he responded very positively to it. He just kept saying it's all there, it's all in the script, and he was game to do anything. Followed us to this remote
middle
part
of the desert,
Utah. And the long john.
He was down. No, he was down. He was great.
I mean, it just seems like it was enough was said.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that makes sense. Robert Forster just getting pissed off. So, and after sort of the massive success of Kamiko, I'm a huge fan of Kamiko. Do you sort of look at that film and say, do you try to build off of that success, or do you say, you know what, we have to go a completely, totally different direction?
I don't know. I wish we're. It's hard to say. I mean, we had a version of this written before we even made Kamiko, and at one point we thought we might do this before, and so we never are in total control of the order of things, but and it's just and it's more intuitive. I think we always try to straddle or just. I think sometimes we start off, we want to make a drama, but then comedy comes into it, whether we like it or not. So we just, but it's always kind of a balance of the humor and pathos, and just kind of go one way or the other based on what feels right. But it's very intuitive, I think, because the most we ever intellectualize it was when we do interviews, after we finish the movie.
And you sort of get idea of
it's like a post-mortem about how we came up with doing it this way.
And what people responded to. Because most of the time we're just trying to make something that we would like to see, or something that challenges us, or put together pieces of whatever, if it's people we want to work with, or places we would like to go film, in the desert or in the snow, or those kind of things. And we don't look at them as challenges. It's just part of the excitement of movie making.
And trying to change it up.
And that changes it up for us, just inherently, because we're not I think we got our movie, our snow movie out of our system.
For now, at least,
Snow, desert.
We're shooting outdoors.
Well, I mean, so this is a movie on a bigger scale. With you have some sets, and you have costume designs and things like that, shooting on locations. What would you say was the hardest part, production-wise, of this film?
We were very ambitious with the production and put every dollar on the screen, basically, because we had to build a western town,
right?
And we didn't want, I don't know, we wanted it so many westerns they all kind of look the same. A lot of them are shot in New Mexico on the same 3 sets, even big productions. and we just wanted someplace that we hadn't seen a Western done before,
Right.
and with a different kind of backdrop and a very particular customized set for what we needed, and so many Western. Recent Westerns, I've seen, like a lot of just everything is kind of sepia in terms of the color palette, and we wanted to be very colorful and that sort of thing. So just I don't know, that was kind of approaching it as a testament to we had an incredible costume designer and production designer.
Well, and I noticed your costume designer had worked on films like 310 to Yuma, and
Yeah.
sort of history of with, like Westerns. So it's like I think like those minute details. It's like you have to get that part right, or else everything else falls apart.
Yeah.
So the script can be solid, but then let's make sure it looks the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And Terry Anderson, like his approach was, super ambitious and in line with, it's great that we were super lucky to get him because, he wanted to make everything from scratch and like be very
one of a kind
and detail oriented, and pulled a lot of references from historical pictures and movie references, and kind of like blended this mythic quality to it, and it was really lucky to have gotten him. And the production designer Scott Cusio was very much the same. Like when he was building the town, we were talking about different things that we wanted to see in it. And he just created this amazing playground for us, and even put things in areas that would help, that would look aesthetically good. And
he knew where we wanted to shoot.
Yeah, it's like, I put this pile of logs right there so that it would be in the corner like you like it or whatever. And so it was neat working. That's for us. That's where the scale went a little bit larger. I was working with that, being able to kind of have that, that kind of flexibility with creating things as opposed to, it was more creating as opposed to finding in terms of like the set and costumes and stuff like that.
Now, and also too, obviously your 3 films before this one, you guys had yet to work with names like Robert Pattinson and Mia Wasikowska. Can you talk about getting the 2 of them on board for this film? What was that process like for you?
Oh well, Robert came on board first, and he had seen Kamiko and read the script and responded to both, and we met with him and just instantly I felt like we had a shorthand, with he just got what we were trying to do, and then we'd read some interviews and seen some interviews with him, and he was very articulate about the things he was doing, more than I am right now, at least, and he just had a real, point of view with what he was doing, and I feel like just a lot of times it just felt like he's a lot of thought and curation into the roles he was taking. It wasn't just like a gig that he was doing, and then just from the way he was, he was able to articulate what he was up to, and then but then also just looking at the films he was doing leading up to ours and after, is like, oh wow, that's one of our favorite directors. That's one of our favorite directors. Right. That's one of our favorite directors. And he had great taste. Yeah.
He won my the acting award for my website at AMovieGuy.com. So for last year for Good Time. So for me to see him sort of do this total 180 into this sort of foolish character was just felt like, wow, this guy continues to want to take risks. And change up what he's doing, which I love.
Yeah, I think part of it is he's wanting to take risks and do things different, but also when he's looking, at least from our standpoint, when he looks at the character and dissects it in a way that makes it unique to him and his strengths and stuff like that, as opposed to I'm really good at doing this character over and over and over again.
Right.
And I think that was he took Samuel and created something that he was able to enhance and bring a lot to the table.
Make his own.
Yeah.
Well, and the same goes for Mia as well. But what was great about their interest in it was they're both roles that other people would be scared away from, I think, and just because of the way things evolve in the story and the different facets to the characters. And but what was so refreshing is that they had the opposite response. They were things that would scare other people away, excited them, and they were really up for the challenge. And that was that enthusiasm, multiplies, when exponentially when everyone feeds off it is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So
and also too, so I've read a little bit of sort of reviews out of before I had seen this out of Sundance and stuff like that. A lot of people were comparing this to sort of Jim Jarmusch's Dead Man. Some people had even referenced Blazing Saddles, but I kind of saw it actually maybe a little bit. I mean, I see what a lot of critics might have saw in those films comparatively, but I also saw a little bit of it as an anti-Clint Eastwood film, sort of The Pale Rider. I don't know if you've seen that film, where it's his characters tend to be these very confident. Obviously, there's a lot of sort of sexual tension in those movies and things like that. But instead, this is a complete opposite of that, and you've got the man rolling into town, and you think he's supposed to be this guy, but it turns out he is nothing. So, can you talk about maybe what sort of inspirations you guys have used for westerns?
Well, I mean, we like all kinds, and there's no kind that we. I mean, there's some that we like more than others, but there's none that we dislike. I mean, one of the we love the macho quality in the western, and it's, but then at the same time, it's been done a lot, and so it was fun kind of using that as a foundation, and then applying emasculation to the most masculine genre. There was something gratifying about that. But Dead Man is a masterpiece. We love that film. That's one of our all time favorite films. But I think in terms we wasn't. It's not like we didn't watch when we were writing it or leading up to it. We weren't directly watching it. It was more just like osmosis, just from lifetime of watching things and a full range of. We're a little less educated on some of the oldest, some of the John Ford. I mean, we know all the basics, but we're not as thorough on that as some other realms of the the genre.
Yeah, because too, I kind of I was laughing a lot in the moments where Pattinson's Honey Bun or the hanging scene. Yeah, because in a lot of John Ford's Western films, he does have these musical numbers. That tend to focus on the romanticism of the West. You guys were doing that, but it again it was it's romantic that they're starting to sing, but the guy's about to be hanged. I don't know if even again it might have been subconscious.
I think some. I mean, I just like it when people sing in movies. And then in everything. And some of those classic westerns, and then some of the early ones that started to subvert the genre. I mean, really early on, or a long time, like Johnny Guitar, and and then I think one in particular, in Rio Bravo, that Ricky Nelson. Yes. I love Ricky Nelson anyway, but love that his the musical numbers he does in that were a big inspiration.
It's the movie kind of pauses. It's we're going to sing a song for a minute, and
then we're going to sing a second song.
Yeah,
I love that.
So we had one.
Yes.
And I noticed you guys have had made music a big part of all of your films too. So I mean, but again, you guys both also act too. I mean, they're directing, writing, performing, producing some of the music. I mean, for you guys, is that just how you want to do it? I mean, do you feel better when you have total control over various different parts of the film? Yes
and no. We want to. I mean, as we want to keep doing bigger and bigger, and we want to do much bigger things, and it's fun. If you get the right crew, then it's especially with the people that we mentioned, it's great that you can then everyone if everyone's on the same page tonally, then you can turn them loose, and they're you kind of set the parameters for the bandwidth they're working in, and then but then they're not restrained, they're not under your thumb or anything. They can work within that and do much more interesting stuff than if you were micromanaging it. So that's, I think, ultimately more appealing to us, and it's like less exhausting that way.
Right.
But we, and so that's more and more of our goal. But I think, but at the same time, we just loving movies. All aspects of it are interesting to us, and then coming from just making stuff just with the two of us, you just by proxy have to have some kind of knowledge of all those aspects, so which then helps us so that when we work with other people, you can articulate what you're asking for, but I don't know, music is always, I think music is as big an inspiration to us as films are, so I think that's why that plays such a big part in what we do.
It's all part of the art of making the doll. So let's talk about I have to ask about this. So in Kamiko, you've got Bunzo, and now in this, in Damsel, you've got Butterscotch. What sort of do you guys come up with these ideas to have these like fantastic animal co-stars? And I've always heard that like directing and working with animals is very difficult. So like, how has that process been?
I think we've been very lucky with the animals. I mean, it's
all about casting.
Yeah, it's kind of knowing that you're not going to force a performance from an animal. Like the animal is best used when they're just doing what they're doing. So it's like
you cast on their
strengths, and then the actor plays with whatever.
And it becomes this amazing device.
You adapt to what they're doing.
Audiences are just because I was a bunny owner until my bunny passed away. And we call our bunny Bunzo. We just remembered seeing Kamiko, and we were just like, oh my God, it's just like our bunny.
It's just all about finding the right. Yeah, I mean, if you have the wrong animal, it'd be a complete nightmare.
Right.
But we love animals. They have no interest in forcing them to do anything, and so it's just kind of like setting up an environment. I mean, just in the same way you'd cast anyone, setting up an environment they can succeed in, and embracing their strengths and flaws, and then kind of adapting accordingly.
So. You never set a mark for, you can't really like
a mark over it. Yeah,
the horses can perform within this area. And the nice thing about horses is, and especially Daisy, who played Butterscotch, or even some of the horses that we were riding on, they were pretty easygoing, and they don't really do a lot. They just kind of stand around, and
there's no crazy chases really. There's a lot of ambling.
So it was just like they feel the tug and they kind of go where you want them to go, but. We weren't. They didn't have to do any dramatic lifting of a scene or anything.
And I have basically one more question left, but I wish I had more. The shooting of this film, can you talk about just like working with your DP, just working Adam Stone? I mean, it's obviously beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I find all Westerns, you have to get that look right. And, I know you guys shot this on site in Utah?
Utah and Oregon, yeah.
Okay. Was that difficult? I mean, God, it looks like you guys have the most beautiful weather ever there, and I know that is a factor. But
it was beautiful, but it was very tough just because you're in the wilderness and shooting on a hill, hillsides, and just getting all the equipment out there. So it was, but that was what we signed up for. I think when you're scouting is when you enjoy the nature the most, and how and how wonderful it is. And when you're shooting, it's just about survival, just getting through. But Adam is fantastic. We've known him. He's just been he's worked with mutual friends for a long time. So just known him socially. This is the first time that we worked with him, and no, he's great, and no one works harder than him on the set.
Yeah.
So
awesome. And sort of lastly, just one more thing before we go. The narrative structure of it felt like sort of a baton film.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's even something that like had basically been thought from the get-go. I mean, because it's like it goes from Patton. 1 minute you're thinking he's the lead character, then it's Parson, then it's Mila Zakowska, Penelope. Is that type of structure something that you just sort of when you're writing it, do you just sort of write it that way, or does it sort of also turn into that?
It will depend. We've done several things where it was kind of bifurcated like that, and it's all, I don't know, just I guess it's fun playing with structure. I mean, we definitely want to do stuff with a more conventional structure as well, but I think this one in particular, though, there's something like from the outset it was that was kind of the impetus for it was playing with taking a conventional premise but then applying it in an unconventional kind of structure where there is a baton handoff, and there was something that was where shifting in perspective and stuff in a way that was interesting to us.
Yeah, well, it was great. Congratulations. It's really one of my favorite films so far. You're here at this fest,
No, cool.
and it's just so, I laughed. I think it's beautifully shot. The performances are just like different from what we've usually seen. So it's the kind of movie that I also would want to watch again too, because there's like things you miss or things you pick up. So again, congratulations.
Thanks so much.
I can't wait to see more from you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.